The fourth word that Jesus speaks from the cross is a deeply convicting one. He cries out, my God, why have you forsaken me?" Such a deep cry from the heart. And in this word, he's telling us that part of the human condition that he took on entirely, is to struggle with doubt, is to struggle with temptation, to despair. But just because he struggles with it doesn't mean he gives into it. But that is part of the human condition. Pope Benedict retold a story of a really brilliant atheist that would destroy all his opponents and crush their arguments about God's existence. And then finally some people said, "Hey, you should go see this Jewish rabbi and go talk to him about God and faith." So this atheist goes in to visit this rabbi, and he opens his office. And the rabbi's sitting at the desk, and the atheist storms in, doesn't say anything, and the rabbi just continues to write something on his desk. And the atheist is like, "Fine, I'll outweigh him. I can outweigh him." And he starts thinking of all the arguments against God and the existence of God, and nobody's been able to defeat me yet, and these arguments are steadfast, and nobody can convince me that God exists. And then the rabbi looks up, and he says, "And yet, perhaps it is true." And the atheist breaks into a cold sweat and storms out of the room. And the idea of the story is this: you don't get to escape the difficulty of doubt just because you choose not to believe in God. What Jesus is telling us in this fourth word is that he didn't come to take away the night. He came to bring the dawn that follows the night. Death does not disappear with Jesus. The resurrection after death appears with Jesus. If you read Psalm 22, which Jesus is quoting, it doesn't end with the forsaken cry, my God, why have you forsaken me?" It ends with hopeful triumph and victory. It is sometimes really difficult to see the resurrection from the cross. It's really difficult to see that this will pass when we're in the midst of suffering and pain. But then we have a choice. We can choose to forget God. We can choose to abandon him. We can choose to blame him. And then we are left just with ourselves. We are the only ones that are going to be able to deal with what is in front of us. Or we can choose to say, no, God is always faithful. He will never abandon us. He has walked this journey with us. And so perhaps that's what we can pray with today or this evening. My God, why have you forsaken me? Do we feel that cry in our own hearts? It's okay. My God, why have you forsaken me? What do we do with that feeling of being forsaken? Do we turn towards God or we turn towards ourselves? It's a very important question, one that we can wrestle with Jesus in prayer. Continue to pray for each other, continue to pray for us, and we'll be praying for you. God bless you. Gracias, Padrecito.